Good morning and welcome to Sunday, April 19th, 2020. And today's devotion is titled Open and Closed Doors. And we'll be reading out of the book of Acts, chapter 16, verses 9 and 10. And it reads, "And a vision appeared to Paul in the night. There stood a man of Macedonia and prayed him, saying, 'Come over into Macedonia and help us.' And after he had seen the vision, immediately we endeavored to go into Macedonia, assuredly gathering that the Lord had called us for to preach the gospel unto them." From reading the Bible, we can assume that Paul did his very best to obey the calling of God in his life. He was convinced that God wanted him to preach the gospel throughout the Gentile tribes and nations, so he journeyed with the specific goal of making disciples that would form churches. On one such journey, he had traveled through the region of Galatia and Phrygia, and his natural inclination led him to continue through Asia, westward toward the coast. When God told him not to go westward, he traveled northward with the desire to enter Bithynia and preach. God told him not to go northward either, so he walked to Troas, where God gave him a vision of a man from Macedonia urging him to come there and help them. Paul concluded that God had opened a door for him to preach the gospel in Macedonia, so that is where he went. God desires that we follow his will for our lives. Like Paul's desire to travel westward, then northward, only to find closed doors, we must be willing to resist doing something simply because it is our natural inclination. In those instances, it behooves us to seek the will of God and to ask him to confirm his desires for us. God may not want us traveling easy roads. There may be an unreached person far away who is waiting for us to come and share Christ. And our final thought is, may we listen to God's voice today. You may have remembered just the other day I did a devotion where I was talking about when I was raising my own kids and they were waiting for that perfect job or that perfect opportunity in life to go get. So they would sit on the couch and watch TV waiting for God to provide them that one great perfect thing. And I would tell them, get up, get moving, go find a job, get out of the house. And I want to, Dad, but I'm just waiting for God to give me that one thing. Well, the thing is, God can navigate us. He can, and I'm going to basically reiterate what I said last time. God can navigate us and get us going in the direction he wants us to. We just need to be moving. You know, it's kind of like God's got the steering wheel, but we've got to push the gas pedal. And if we start moving in one direction, that's okay. Get going. It may be the wrong direction, but you got to get moving. And then pray to God and let him steer you on the path that he wants. But you got to be moving. Even if God, like in this case, God, Paul was trying to go eastward and then northward and then westward, all these different directions, right? Well, that's like saying, I'm going to turn and face to the east. But what good does facing it do me if I'm not moving toward it, right? So if God points you in the right direction, that's great. But if you're not actually moving, it does you no good. So get moving, get active. Don't wait for the church. This is another example. Don't wait for the church to say, we want you to do this thing for the church. Excuse me. Just do something for the church. Get involved, get active, get doing something. And then if it's your calling, God will have you stay in that position. But if it's not, God will steer you to the direction you need to go in the church. If you want to be a greeter at the church, then start greeting people at the front door. But if that's not where God wants you, it's okay. And he'll let you know, and the other church members may let you know, but do something. And then that'll fall into something else, and then into something else. And eventually you'll end up right where God puts you. But if you sit still and don't move, and wait for God to put you somewhere, it's not going to work that way. God can face you in the right direction, but if you're not moving, you'll never get there. So, I know I keep reiterating the same point, but it's such a true statement. God doesn't expect perfection from us, but he expects us to try. And we got to show the effort of moving and dependence on him for direction. We handle the moving, let him handle the direction. It's that simple. So thanks for watching. I hope you kind of made your way through this devotion with me as I muddled my way along it, but I hope I made the point that I was trying to make. And it's been a life lesson for my family because I've used this exact illustration raising my own kids, and it seems to have worked. So hope it works for you. Take care, guys. God bless. We'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.